Okay then, Marines, it seems that the Woke Brigade have come out in full force, and it appears that the game has not quite come up to their standard. We're going to get into that one, it's hilarious. But as well as that, Focus Entertainment have been doing more than just game development, and even then, they've still managed to hit the biggest game on so far as a Steam debut for the developer and publisher, as well as some issues that are currently outstanding inside of the game that hopefully will be fixed very soon. With that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on, be greatly appreciated, and enter our giveaway for a copy of the game. If you want to get involved, head down to the comment section and put a gold love heart in the comment section, also known as a yellow one if you want to get picky, but we'll announce it via the giveaway announcement sector of the Discord link in the description. And if you want to get hold of the game even earlier than that, then make sure you head over to Instant Gaming. They're selling the Ultimate Edition right now for £60. That is an all-time cheap, absolutely ridiculous, but head down to the description, click the link and get your game a little cheaper today. But what is it that's happening inside of the Space Marines community? Well, apparently people are attacking Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, saying it has no diversity. Meanwhile, in the trio in the campaign is a white guy, a black guy and an Asian dude. Yep, that's right, full diversity, but apparently it is not enough to keep the Woke Brigade happy. This one states right here, not bait. You shouldn't play the game until they add female Space Marines, and here's why. Now, this is a hilarious post and one that I absolutely love the look of, so we're going to get right into it. Before you lose it and call me woke, listen up. There are people who have been stomped on for centuries, and we're finally at a point where we can start to make things right. How can you sit there and play a game made by devs who are openly sexist while also refusing to add even a shred of diversity? What's the big deal with having a single Marine who's intersex, LGBTQ or female? They didn't it for Custodes in the game, just one character. They could be on screen for 5 seconds and it wouldn't hurt you at all, but it would mean the world to someone who finally sees themselves represented and who's really a snowflake. If that idea gets under your skin, they don't even need to be the main character. It blows my mind that anyone would back a game that's deliberately pandering to right-wing values. Do you even know what you're supporting? Or did some World of Warcraft YouTuber just tell you to buy it? By playing this game, you're choosing to marginalize people who deserve better. That's the point. I get that some will read this and say they don't care, but maybe, just maybe, try putting yourself in someone else's shoes for once. All it takes is a little empathy. You don't have to agree with them, but recognize that the representation helps people feel less alone. It's sad, and you're actively standing against that. Now, we have seen this time after time after time when it comes to games, and the Woke Brigade seem to come out and hammer into games because it doesn't seem to meet their standard. Obviously, the main lore of what the Space Marines are works in a completely different tangent, and the game has stuck by that by all means necessary, and it is an incredible game. The fact that it doesn't seem to meet that LGBTQ friendly opposition seems to think that actually a lot of the community are kind of glad that they've stuck to the original lore method of the game rather than being able to cave just to keep everybody happy and avoid the online controversy. It seems to be working in oodles, as before even leaving early access, Space Marine 2 is already the biggest Steam debut for its developer and publisher. And as much as they state right here in the post that they should have just had somebody in there for even 5 minutes, there's not really a need for that other than you just having to get your own way. I know a lot of people are not going to enjoy my take on it, and that is absolutely fine, but I do think that the integrity of gaming is based on story, and not every story has that in it. It just seems to be that way inclined, and unfortunately this time round it seems to all it's doing is just giving it more publicity. We have seen this time and time again, and I don't know why they have to hammer in for these small details, mainly because realistically Hogwarts Legacy received so much controversy, it is ridiculous, and yet had become such a ginormous game, as well as Wukong. Black Myth Wukong had its controversy behind it based on political reasons, and then again became the biggest game going this year. The reason for it is actually quite simple. The more eyes you put on it, whether it's positive or negative, is still PR, and any PR is good PR when it comes to sales margin. So we'll have to see exactly how this one pans out, but it does make me laugh massively that this is even sustainable as far as an issue. I don't find this to be an issue. There are numerous games out there that support those narratives without having to be a problem. Now, obviously, the main lore of this does not work on that narrative, so therefore, I'm glad that they didn't cave and just cave to general society at this point in time. And again, my take may be a little bit controversial and you may not be happy with it, but apparently, we're all entitled to our own opinions. I think the biggest takeaway from this is you cannot make everybody happy. Some people don't like the fact that there's no females or LGBTQ in the actual game itself, and then the opposite side of the team is if you had have done it, then people would have said that he's adjusting to the woke community. This is the problem with having two different sides of the fence. You're always going to upset one. But the game is absolutely incredible and it shows, and I think that it's pretty damn obvious that as an overall, this game has done incredibly well. But they don't seem to only be focusing on the game. No. Space Marines are only legends to many, but you have a rare chance to actually meet one. That's right, Titus is in the Pottersfield Park in London and Oberplatz in Berlin until Sunday. Yes, I was 100% tempted to hop onto a train and head down to London just to see it. It looks absolutely incredible and they've been posting about it on their socials, and if you are in London, it's definitely worth taking a look at and even just getting a little bit of a picture with it. Let me know how big this bloody thing is, because for me, this thing looks absolutely incredible. On top of that, a couple of issues that the game is genuinely facing, other than the actual controversy at hand right now, is something with regards to the load times. There is an infinite loading screen issue at the moment that we seem to all be suffering with, and this Reddit post right here states, does anyone else get consistently stuck in an infinite loading screen? Missions never load whilst playing with friends. I've spent more time trying to connect to friends and actually playing the game. Could possibly be a PC only problem. Now, from what I have heard, the issue is primarily on PC. We went live yesterday for around 4 hours, and trying to join up with PC players was the biggest issue, but console to console seemed to work pretty damn flawlessly. So maybe try keeping it within your realm of platform until they manage to get this one fixed and see exactly how it actually pans out. But yeah, the co-op is unplayable, and that isn't okay. And to be completely honest, no, it's not. Joining server. 2 days of paid for early access wasted due to the endless loading screens when trying to join a party, and it does seem to be a massive problem at the moment. Another thing that people are finding quite difficult at the moment is the parrying system, myself included actually. I tend to dodge quite a lot rather than actually parry, but playing this game is incredibly challenging. I feel like I'm constantly getting my ass handed to me by swarms, and if I'm not going 1v1 with Tyranid warriors or the like, it's incredibly challenging to time the parry mechanic. Is anyone else struggling with this, and do players who grip these easily have any tips of combat? Praise the Empire. Now, I do think this is one of those games that is a learning curve and will take you guys a little while to adjust to. The game is absolutely amazing and is definitely worth putting the time into, but yeah, it seems to be something that we are all suffering with at the moment, but it's going to take a little while for you guys to adjust. And looking at the top comments from the previous video, it seems to actually liberate and push through everything we've been stating in this video right here. This one with 165 likes states, my biggest issue is getting stuck on really long loading screens in multiplayer. Yeah, but I'm having the same problem, and it seems that most of the internet are as well. So hopefully they manage to approach that one soon and we don't have that issue for much longer, as it may be the only thing that stops you guys from playing with your friends. The second comment that we have right here states, okay, seriously, what's the deal with the review bombs recently? It happened with Black Myth Wukong to try and make it fail. Look how it went, and now Space Marines 2. I swear people need to get a reality check, and they really do. The review bombs are absolutely ridiculous, and I don't really understand the reason behind it. I guess the situation with Helldivers really didn't help, as they managed to get their own way with it, but nonetheless, this doesn't seem to be doing anything for the Space Marine 2 community. Everybody's still quite gassed up, the game's still doing really well, and it still seems to be the highest performed that the developer and publisher have ever seen for them. And the final comment we've got right here is, getting a librarian class could be an awesome way to make Grey Knights. This is actually kind of hilarious. I quite like the actual aspect of this one, but people are wanting so many different variants of their Space Marines, ones that they've been painting and creating for years, and hopefully you guys do manage to get your chapters into it. Fingers crossed it all runs well, but so far so good. The game's doing incredible and everything seems to be working right. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate your faces. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.